Good morning. Welcome to Morning Infusion with Dr. V. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to lose 100 pounds? Wow. Well, my name is Dr. Viola Pierce. I'm the owner and the CEO of VP Nursing and the Nurse Nurturer, where our goal is to equip healthcare professionals to be spiritually and physically fit, financially stable, able to lead with integrity, to decrease error at the bedside, and in leadership to lead a full, empowered life. Our goal is to come to you each Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to give you the fuel to crush your goals, to show up exceptional on a daily basis. You can follow us on Twitter at the Nurse Nurturer, Instagram at VP Nursing, and if you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Now, before we get to our special guest, I wanted to let you know about our global virtual summit. Dr. White has already signed up for it. It's coming up on August the 7th, 2020. You will receive 6.5 contact hours and you will have an amazing time. So go to www.vpnursing.com to register or click the link in the description. We have a special guest today, Dr. Jean White, here to talk about being a healthcare professional and her journey to losing 100 pounds. Dr. White worked as a family nurse practitioner for over 40 years. She retired about 5 years ago and worked on her own health. The Octavia, am I saying that right?
Octavia.
Is the only one that worked for her. So she decided to become a certified health coach with the company, helping people transform their lives one healthy habit at a time. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for
Thank you, Viola. Appreciate it.
So now what was your career path in nursing? Like, did you instantly go for a family nurse practitioner or how did that work?
No, I first got my bachelor's degree and went overseas as a missionary nurse to Yemen and worked in a missionary hospital there. But I got sick. I got several illnesses and had to come back home and just got involved in the community at home and never went back overseas again. But I decided that I wanted to become a nurse practitioner through that. I was actually preparing to go back to the mission field and realized that I needed more to be able to do more.
Gotcha.
And so that's what I went to actually it was before it was a master's degree program. I got a certificate from the University of Texas at Arlington to be a nurse practitioner, family nurse practitioner.
Yeah,
and that's what I wanted to be able to treat the whole family. So that was my first thing in nursing was that. That's how I became a nurse practitioner. But then I didn't go back overseas and I got involved here. My first job as a nurse practitioner was with the Newport News Shipbuilding and Dry Dock Company doing occupational health, which was a very interesting thing to deal with. And then I got a job with the Navy and a dependent clinic. They actually had a shipload of Saudi Arabian sailors that they exchanged with a shipload of American sailors and their families. It's an exchange program, and they needed somebody who could speak Arabic and would be able to treat the women because women couldn't see male doctors. So that was my first job treating families. Was with that, and then I just stayed and treated dependents, Navy dependents at Joel T. Boone Clinic in Little Creek.
Sweet. So I'm not sure why that is coming, but I wanted to. You look amazing. You've lost 100 pounds. Just celebrated that milestone. So tell me, what was the deciding factor to start that journey?
I've been overweight my whole life. Seems like I've been perpetually on a diet. People that know me always know that I'm always on some diet. I think I've been on every diet that's out there, right? And I would lose weight and then I would gain it back plus some. So I would be worse off than I was when I started the diet because I was actually more heavy than I was before. I think the stress of the job had a lot to do with it. Healthcare is a very stressful job. Whether you're in a hospital or in a clinic, doesn't matter where you are, it's just stressful. I don't have to tell you that or anybody else that's watching this program. I think that had a lot to contribute to the weight. that I gained. But when I I came here to Rocky Mount actually to help take care of my dad who had Alzheimer's disease. That was stressful. Didn't not getting sleep at night because he wasn't sleeping. You know, 'cause I lived with them to help my mom take care of him. And I just realized after he died, I realized I was in such bad shape. I thought, you know, I'm not gonna be around much longer, you know, if I don't do something about this. I couldn't walk around the block without getting out of breath. You know, I was on 26 different medications trying to control symptoms and had metabolic syndrome, fatty liver disease, everything, high blood pressure, diabetes type 2. Um, so, and I had Hashimoto's, thyroiditis as well. So I was talking to a friend who said she was on the Optavia program, and I thought, why not? You know, so I tried everything else. Why not give one more thing a try, right? So they assigned a coach to me, and her name was Molly Purdy, wonderful person. And I was talking to her, and she started asking me all these questions. You know, like how much was I sleeping at night? How was I dealing with stress? Did I have friends? You know, and I'm thinking, I said, Molly, I just want to get some of the bars and the shakes and get on a diet and lose weight. I don't really need all this other stuff, you know. And she said, okay, let me just ask you one question. Can I ask you a question? I said, yes, you can. And she said, do you want to lose weight or do you want to get healthy?
Uh-huh.
And that was the breaker for me. You know, I said, I want to be healthy, you know, because, you know, Viola, you can lose weight and get down to your healthy weight and still be unhealthy.
That's exactly
You know, so being healthy was important to me. And that's what Optavia is all about, is being healthy. It's not a weight loss program. People always ask me, what's the difference between Optavia and other weight loss programs? Well, there isn't a difference because it's not a weight loss program. It's a health and wellness program that just happens to have a weight loss component to it. Some people need to gain weight. And some people are at their weight, their healthy weight, but they're not healthy. So that's why I think this program works so well, because it's not just talking about weight loss, but it's talking about being healthy.
gotcha. So, why is weight loss and staying healthy so important for healthcare professionals
Why is weight loss
and health?
important and
Uh-huh.
health? Well, you can't function very well if you're not healthy. You don't have the energy if you're not healthy. You have the brain fog, you know, that comes with all the chemicals in your body when you're not healthy. Um, if like with your program, you know, if you're not dealing with your stress very well, if you got issues at home, if your relationships are bad, you're not sleeping well at night, you've got debts to pay, you know, you're not going to be able to function as well. You're not going to be able to concentrate on those critically ill patients, especially when you've got 6 of them at a time and you're trying to keep up with 6 patients that are all very critical. And you're dealing with, when I get home, I have to do this. You know, my husband's mad at me. My kids are in trouble. I've got all this stress that I'm dealing with. It. If you don't have a way to deal with all that stress, you can't be effective as a nurse.
That's right. We, I remember when I used to work in the emergency department, having people come in and they were well intending, right? But people would always bring, donuts and, there was never healthy snacks that were ever brought, right? And pizzas were always brought, things of that nature. And it was just, it was perpetuating they were quick. They were, quick snacks, but
Right.
it was taking away from what we really needed to be eating, and
Right.
struggle because literally you're taking care of patients and your goal is to be the focus on that patient. And so when you want to grab something, I remember one time literally I went the entire day, and that's just not healthy, the entire day without eating because I'm trying to take care of my patients, right? And then at like 5 o'clock in the evening, finally I got something to eat, and I was just like, oh my God. And it's a tough thing whenever you have patients that are high acuity and you're running, trying to take care of those patients all the time. So yes, it is super important. Now apparently you've never lost that much weight before, as you said. And So do you think, why do you think that this was so successful for you?
Because the program is so comprehensive. It's not just a weight loss program. So I wasn't concentrating on losing the weight. I was concentrating on other things.
Gotcha.
Um, the we developed the program's developed by Dr. Wayne Scott Anderson,
Mhm,
who's a board certified critical care physician in Maryland, in Annapolis.
mhm.
And he saw time and time again that in the ICU, he had patients that he would deal with and help them get back to some semblance of health. And 3 or 4 months later, they're back in the ICU again because nothing had changed. You know, they still had the unhealthy habits. He calls them habits of disease.
Mhm.
Right. And this program is designed to help you break the habits of disease and develop new habits of health. That's why we talk about being healthy one healthy habit at a time, because we help you develop new habits. And it's not willpower that keeps you on a diet or keeps you on the program, it's the habits.
That's right.
Yeah, and if you when you're tired, willpower is just not there, but habits are. So when you develop habits, it takes 66 days to develop a new habit. So if you do something 66 days, you've developed a new habit. So
Wow.
you can just concentrate on one thing and do it 66 days. We start out with saying you're going to eat every 3 hours, every 2 to 3 hours, you're going to eat something. Just not a lot, just something, because that keeps your insulin levels down so that they're not spiking up and you're not getting hungry. It keeps your energy level. No, you don't have the ups and downs. It gets rid of the brain fog. So that's the first principle we work on. You can develop the habit of eating at least every 3 hours during the day, something. Do that for 66 days. That's your first habit. So then we add on to that, depending on what your needs are. We'll add other habits to that, but that would be the first habit we'd work on. So, but it's designed around what we call macro habits. There are 6 macro habits. First one is weight management, whether you need to gain weight or lose weight, and to manage what your weight is. The second one is healthy eating and hydration. So once you get to your weight, you still want to eat healthy the rest of your life, because you get to your healthy weight and then you go back to eating ice cream and cheesecake and candy bars all day. You go to the machine and buy cookies and candy and chips, especially at the hospital, when you can't go and sit down and eat, and you got quick things like that to eat. You're going to gain that weight back again. You're going to be unhealthy again. So, and I've had people that didn't need to lose weight, but they said, I'm not healthy. I just feel I need better food. I don't know what to eat. So the weight, not weight management, healthy weight and hydration. Most Americans don't drink enough water.
That's
So
true.
we talk about drinking enough water to keep yourself hydrated. And then we talk about healthy motion. People always ask me, can I exercise? Do I have to exercise? So we don't talk about exercise. That's a negative word. We talk about motion.
That's too
So
funny.
add motion, taking the stairs instead of the elevator, parking at the other end of the parking lot and walking into the hospital. So you get those extra steps in. And we talk about different ways to add motion to your day so that you're getting the motion that your body needs. But you can exercise, but you don't have to exercise. You cannot exercise enough to outrun your fork. It's just not possible. So you're eating too much, you are going to gain weight. You're not going to lose weight no matter how much exercise you do. You don't exercise to lose weight. You do exercise for cardiovascular capacity, for stress management, for other good things, but not for losing weight. And
Yes,
most people try to exercise for losing weight, and it's just not effective.
that's
So
right.
then we talk about having a healthy mind is the fourth macro management. That includes the good relationships, knowing how to deal with your stress levels, knowing how to just managing your mind better, and then healthy sleep and energy management. How many nurses do you know that get enough sleep at night? I mean, if you're just a mother and a nurse, you got 2 full-time jobs that are taking a lot more of the hours than you have in the day. So you get, and you're the last one to go to bed at night and the first one up in the morning, and you haven't had enough sleep. So sleep management is something we deal with as well, because there are a lot of things that happen when you're asleep. God created us that way. That things you lose weight when you're asleep. So when I've got somebody that's stuck and not losing weight, one of the first things I ask them is, "How much sleep are you getting tonight?" I'll say, "Oh, Miss Jean, sleep. What's that?" And I say, "There you go. That's why you're not losing weight." And I tell you, they'll call me a week later and say, "I've had 8 hours of sleep every night, and I lost 5 pounds this week." Because the things that have to happen for you to lose weight aren't happening if you're not sleeping. So, and other things, just lots as a nurse, there are lots of things that happen physiologically while you're asleep at night. So we really need to have that good sleep. And then we talk about healthy surroundings, the people, the places, the things that are around you affect your mental health, affect your physical health. You are most like the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Say that all the time.
Yep. So who are the 5 people you spend the most time with, and are they who you want to be? Maybe you need to think about getting some new friends, or at least spending more time with people that are positive, people that are who you want to be. I'm not saying divorce your husband or get rid of your kids if they're the 5 people that you spend the most time with, but spend more time with the people who are what you want to be, who are going to help you get where you want to go. And don't surround yourself with all the stuff that, if you're at home and your kids and your husband are going to eat candy and cookies and stuff, at least get them off the counter, and put them where you can't see them. So, we talk about your surroundings. So those are the 6 macro habits that we build everything around.
That is, I really like the whole concept of those macro habits because, in 66 days, because it is the habits. It truly is
Right.
what it is. And then the 5 people that you hang out with the most, I always say that you're the sum total of the 5 people you hang out the most. And if you're the smartest person in the room, then you're in the wrong room.
In the wrong room, exactly.
With that for the
Yeah.
life. I mean, I think that people come in and they want to be the big man on campus and they want to be the smartest person in the room. But the reality is that, I want to learn, right?
Right.
It's a continual process. And so understanding that whole process is super important. So yes, I love, all that you just said. So now the last question is, what would you tell your younger self and what things would you have changed earlier to ensure
Mhm.
healthy weight throughout your life?
Well, that's a good question. I think as a nurse, what to eat. That it wasn't the problem, not knowing what to eat. It was the emotional side of things. I had things that happened to me when I was much younger that I just never had dealt with, and that was one of the things that Molly helped me to deal with. My coach um, realized that I had those things I needed to talk about, I needed to talk through. Um, and I needed to have a better self-esteem. My self-esteem was really low, and and I needed to realize it's okay to take care of myself. I was taking care of my parents. I'm known as the caretaker in my family. Whenever somebody's sick, I'm there. And because I lived with my grandparents when my grandfather died of Alzheimer's disease, my dad's dad.
Gotcha.
So, and always being the person to take care of other people, but never taking care of me. And you really, just like on an airplane, when they tell you to put your mask on first, if the oxygen mask comes down, and then take care of your children, if you're not taking care of yourself, you can't take care of them.
That's right.
They need to see you taking care of yourself before they're going to want you to, they want to take care of themselves. And you don't want them to grow up the same way. I mean, I don't have children, but if I did, I wouldn't want them to have to lose 100 pounds when they were 70 years old. Because I'm 70 years old, yes.
Oh my God.
I retired when I was 65, yeah. So I'm 70.
Shoot, where did I
So you can lose weight when you're 70 years old. You can learn new things when you're 70 years
You look
old.
like you when I'm 70. I'm gonna be
I still have another 40 pounds to go, but I'm going to get there, So, yeah, I think taking care of myself, taking time out to take care of myself is really important. And the spiritual side of things, of course, that being a missionary nurse and spiritual side of things has always been important to me, but I haven't always taken the time that I needed for the spiritual side. Um, uh, that's kind of the last thing at night when after everything else is gone through the day. And now I realize more and more that it's the first thing in the morning. I'm involved now in a group of health coaches with the same company that we get together every morning at 6 o'clock in the morning and pray for each other and talk through the issues that we're dealing with. So we start the morning on that spiritual basis, and that has made a big difference for me in the last couple of years to be able to do that.
Yeah.
So you have to have that spiritual foundation. It's really important.
Yeah, there was a pastor that came to our church. I'm a member of Ward Tabernacle here in Rocky Mount, and so he came to our church and he talked about, he was just very transparent. He said, I have people that come to my church that they drain me. He said,
Right.
and he said what I'll do. And he was a guest pastor. He wasn't our pastor, but he said that they drained me. He said, so in the morning, he said, I'm giving God my time. He said, in the morning, I'm talking to God. He said, because that's the time that I'm most refreshed. He said, and then in the evening, he said, they'll get an appointment about 3 o'clock.
That's funny.
They have drained me. So I can
Yeah.
have them draining me early in the morning.
That's
So
right.
I think that's super important,
It
right?
is. It is important.
To
You asked about what made Optavia different for me as far as a program was concerned. I think it's because we have 4 components. It's not just a weight loss program. And the first component that made a difference is the coach. Without Molly, I probably would not have lost 100 pounds because she kept me accountable. She's my best cheerleader. I talk once a week, have a set appointment with her to talk. But if I'm struggling with something, I don't have to wait till then. She says, call me. I don't ever call her. I usually text her and say, I need to talk. And she's right on the phone, can I call you in a half an hour or whatever, So, and so I've got somebody that understands where I am, that can help talk me through not eating that cheesecake, or whatever it is that I'm dealing with. So the coach makes a big difference. And then we have what we call the Habits of Health transformational system, which is an education system designed to be done in 52 weeks because it takes 66 days to make a new habit. So we don't want you to go through I've had people that call me a week later, okay, I've read the book. I said, what? So you can't develop a habit. You can't do the whole 52 weeks in 1 week, So we want you to do it, one element at a time, go through it through the year, talk through with your coach. How are you going to apply this to your life so that it really becomes installed in you? It's not just something you read, but you've installed those new habits into your life. So working through the educational portion of it is really, really important. And then the community. And I would say that, the program will get you healthy, but it's the community that heals you. Because you're in a community of other people that are going through the same thing you are, that understands where you are, that you can get on there, and we have a Facebook page for clients, and they can get on there and ask a question. Here's what I'm dealing with right now. Anybody have any suggestions? And they'll get 200 answers, So there's always, it's very active community. So you always have a place to ask a question I'm going to a wedding. How am I going to, not eat all the stuff that I'm going to see at the wedding? How am I going to maintain being on plan when I'm at the wedding? And everybody will go on there and tell you what they did at the last wedding they went to, so it's just that it's an awesome, or you went off all of a sudden, you did go to a wedding and you came back because you ate too much. You gained 5 pounds overnight and you're feeling like I'm a failure. I'm just such an awful person. And you get on there and you get 200 people that tell you how awesome you are, and it's okay. You made a mistake. You made a poor choice. That's all it is. Just get back on the plan again. The plan works. Trust the plan. Trust the community. So the community is a really good part. And the fourth part of it is the eating plan. And you talked about eating candy bars and chips during the day because you didn't have, or not eating anything because you didn't have access to it. Most of the things we have are like bars or shakes. You have a shaker bottle that's got a little thing that stirs things up inside of it. And you just put your powder in there, water, shake it up, and you can drink your shake. Or you take your bar out of your pocket and eat it, In fact, I've had nurses who cut the bar up in bite-sized pieces and put it in a plastic bag, put it in their pocket. They could just pop one bite-sized piece in their mouth as they're going along, because it's so nutritional. They've got, if you eat 5, we call them fuelings, the optimal fuelings, 5 optimal fuelings a day, you get all the nutrients, all the vitamins, all the macro, what do you call it? Probiotics. You have all that you need on a daily basis in 5 fuelings. And you're going to eat 6 times a day. So you have 1 meal that you're going to eat, and then your 6 fuelings. So they're very easy to carry with you and not have to worry about not having anything that's healthy to eat. So I think because you have those 4 components and they're all losing the meal plan is only 25% of the program. Yeah, all 4 of those components are 25%.
Sweet.
So I think that's what made it more effective for me, because it was comprehensive. It was more than just concentrating on losing the weight, but it was everything else.
Well,
I really believe in the program.
I see. You look absolutely fabulous. And thank you so much for coming on and talking to us about your weight loss journey. Again, we're coming to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time to give you the fuel to crush your goals, to show up exceptional on a daily basis. You can follow us on Twitter, The Nurse Nurturer, Instagram at VP Nursing. And if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. So we have our global virtual summit coming up August the 7th. Dr. G.
I'm excited about it.
Yes. On August the 7th, you will receive 6.5 contact hours and have an amazing time. We just finished a strategy session for that, and it's entertainment. We're going to have an amazing time. So go to www.vpnursing.com to register, or click the link in the description here, and we will see you there. Y'all have an awesome day.